You know, one day, one day, men will be the end of us. Hi, faves. Welcome and welcome back to Thrive Out Loud. Listen, I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so excited that you're back for another installment. And obviously, the previous video was a bit of a, cozy sit down, going in depth. It was a story time, and apparently, you guys like that sort of thing. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're brand new, please consider clicking on the subscribe button down below and turn on the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a brand new installment. If you're returning subby, thank you so much for coming back. I feel the love. I see the love. Bona, I see you. Remo. Bona, I see you. Anyway, I figured let me do another story time today. I figured let me pick up where I left off. Let me basically have a part 2 of the story time we had in my previous video. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it somewhere up here or somewhere down here, somewhere. But it basically spoke about I can't even get into it. I'd suggest you get into it. It will basically talk about how this girl dated a walking, talking red flag, and baby girl was fighting to keep the relationship alive, but sometimes when you're fighting alone, it's kind of pointless. So, today's story time will be a bit more detailed because I realized how I cut out some of the details, some fluff that I figured didn't really make the cut to the story, but I figured then it made the story make sense a little less, or it kind of took the sense out of some parts of the story. So I'll be getting into detail. One of the people who watched contacted me and he said, but something doesn't make sense. So basically wanted to know how it came about, how it came about that I ended up living with this guy. Why didn't I just kick him out basically when things went bad? Like, how did it get to a point where I was basically stuck in my own house and Indoida was just there showing me flames? So I'm thinking that's where I'll pick up from today. So there's some parts that I left out from the previous story, and I feel like adding them in will probably make it make more sense. I know it probably never will make sense, but it will add some missing pieces to the puzzle. So I had met this guy. Remember, I was living on my own. He was living Kohabone, and he would spend a couple of nights at my place. He now graduated from a couple of nights to a lot of nights, and then before I knew it, guy was literally with me all the time. But how that came about is somewhere during our relationship, somewhere during the first year of our relationship, his mom got sick and unfortunately passed on. Then it came out, hore,
man, doesn't make sense. I'm hoping, just stay with me.
with his mom and his sister, and he had mentioned that his mom is not really doing too well health-wise. At some point, then his mom got worse. Her health deteriorated. Then she was hospitalized, and before we knew it, his mom passed on, right? Then it turned out that the house they lived in didn't actually belong to his mom. His mom didn't have a house. It belonged to the mom's sister, right? So shortly after her passing, then the house was, I don't, rented out or sold, but basically baby boy became homeless. We'll just call him baby boy because I figured we forgot to give him a name last time, so we'll just call him baby boy or guy or whatever. So baby boy became homeless during the time where he was like at my place all the time. Now it became kind of a no-brainer. Looking back, it shouldn't have been a no-brainer, but it became a bit of a no-brainer because how do you begin to speak logistics when a person is mourning the death of a parent, right? So I became the supportive girlfriend that I was. Like, you know what, we'll figure it out, you'll be okay, you'll be great. But I feel like he never really recovered from that point on. He never really came back to himself after the passing of his mom. And it's really sad because from the outside, you're trying all you can to, kind of bring this person back to how you know them. But it's unfortunate that things like the death of a loved one, they really change a person, and you can never really hold it against a person. But my issue is how we express our pain, the pain that he felt, I felt it too, or I related, I empathized with him. But I didn't need to turn into a punching bag to see that you are in pain. There was absolutely no need, sir, for baby girl to be a punching bag. Anyway, so that's how it came about. Like in literally one apartment, and it's now our home, right? Sharp. Then as we're living, things progressed from that point on, right? He was now picking up the pieces, and I was obviously here being supportive, trying to help babe pick up the pieces, because it's painful seeing a loved one in pain, and it's even more painful being unable to help them, being unable to do anything specific to make the pain go away. It's up to them, and it's up to them to get to a point where they are, it's up to them to get to a point where they now feel better, they feel like they can cope better, they feel like they're becoming more of themselves, and they feel like they're able to kind of live with the pain better. But there's really nothing you can do to make someone else's pain go away, which is a mistake that I tried, a mistake I made, life drive, a mistake I made, because I thought, I could do something about it. And when all my efforts were kind of going unseen, I would take it personally, but we learn, we grow, we learn, and these things, they come with old age, and at the age we're at now, we know quite a lot. The us staying together progressed from that point on. Then we stayed together. And I had mentioned that baby boy worked like next door to our apartment building. I worked like like maybe half an hour, and like maybe a 20-minute drive from our apartment. So he had more access to the house than I did, like during the day, because he was able to go to work in the morning. He'd come to the house for lunch, go back, come to the house to change, because he worked out quite a lot. So he had a lot of, so he changed his attire quite a lot. So he would come home, change attire, go back to work, come home, change, Then I'd come back to a huge pile of laundry that was in there in the morning. And
it should be this girl.
because I can wear Bob the Building. Bob the Builder does everything. Pella Bob the Builder does the plumbing, has the electricity, he builds, he does he does everything. Bob the Builder is multi-talented. I was, again, taking responsibility for things that should never have been my responsibility. Should have been that thing. Look, I see that, things are a bit tough on you, things are a bit, things are a bit haywire, things are weird, I get it. And I'm not trying to hurry you or rush your healing process, but I am still a human being who needs to be regarded as a human being. Just because I haven't experienced what you've experienced doesn't mean I should now carry more weight on my shoulders while you just, throw your toys around. I understand you're mourning, you're in pain, but I'm still a human being, and I'm still your girlfriend, and I still kind of need support as well. But being understanding, you support a person. I figured that it's a thing he would grow out of, but he never grew out of it. And yeah, never really grew out of it, right? So just when I thought, things cannot possibly take a turn for the worst, they did. This was now the second year of our relationship, and the company I was working for at the time was going through some difficulties, and they were on the verge of retrenchments, right? So they called us in for a meeting, let us know that so this is the situation. So this is the situation, and it looks like retrenchment is on the table, but not yet, but just keep it at the back of your mind. So for now, we'll be cutting your salaries in half. You'll be getting 50% of your salaries until we're out of this mess, which was a big blow, because what am I supposed to do with 50%? What am I supposed to do with 50% of my salary if I am paying for two adults? How? And it was just unfortunate how I was still an intern at that time, and I was earning a mere measly 5K. If you're gonna cut 5K in half, what am I left with? Compared to a person who was maybe a project manager earning above 70K, cutting that in half, in as much as, the more you earn, the more your expenses grow, because, you attain yourself to that lifestyle. It just wasn't fair how I just feel like cutting it 50% across the board was a bit bizarre. because we are not the same. The levels are not the same. They'll never be the same. But obviously that happened, and shortly after that, they now started to basically outsource us to different companies that would need our skills, that would need assistance in terms of workforce and skills and whatnot. So our company would basically invoice for us, and then our company was like the middleman. So the company pays them, they pay us, and then but the only downside to that, or the upside now that I look back at it, is that we were traveling quite a lot, and there was not a lot of stability. In 1 month I was in Pumalanga, the next month I was in Durban, the other month I'm in the Northwest, and then I'm in PE. So it was just there were a lot of up and downs. There was a lot of traveling involved, a lot of meeting new people, a lot of new things, which I didn't mind. But being a person who is in a bit of a turbulent relationship, it scared me, to be quite honest. It worried me, not because I'm worried about a long distance relationship, but because I felt like whenever we made progress, whenever we come out of a thing, and I feel like we've made progress in terms of him trusting me that I'm not doing something funny, then something like this comes up. Now, how am I gonna travel to a whole nother province and stay there for a whole month and try and make him believe that I'm not doing anything? This is a guy who didn't believe I'm not doing anything sinister when I was literally under his nose 24/7. I was here 24/7. We lived in the same house, we worked out in the same gym, like everything was just here. So now how am I possibly going to convince this person that I'm not doing anything? So it added a lot of stress, it added a lot of unnecessary stress. But anyway, work is work, money is money. This girl got to go, so this girl started traveling. So we had this arrangement with the company where they had outsourced me to. So they'd basically pay my hotel stay during the week, and then on weekends they'd pay for my shuttle back to Joburg and on Friday, and my shuttle back to wherever I needed to go on Monday morning, right? So over the weekends, then I was free to maybe go home, see my family, go home, see this guy. But by now I had moved out of my apartment because it would be pointless to pay for a place when I'm not living there. I moved my stuff into storage, and no, wait, I'm skipping a lot of things. Yeah, the long short of it is that I moved my stuff into storage, but that was also a very difficult thing to approach, right? Because this is a person who was now basically homeless, and I had to kind of save my coins. Because I put it on the table to say, hey, look, this is what's happening. This is an opportunity that I have, and if I'm not working, then we are we are kind of going hungry. If I don't do this, then I kind of need to find a job. And I had been applying from the onset when they called that meeting. I had been applying. It's not like I had all my hopes in this company and not trying anything else. I had been applying, and I had been trying a lot of stuff on the side as well. It's not like I wasn't trying, but obviously when there is no time, they're telling you from next month. Next month is like 2 weeks down the line. We need money, right? So okay, moved out of the apartment, served the notice, and we both moved out. And obviously he was angry at me. He was very angry at me. He was very upset at me, speaking about how inconsiderate I was. There's a sense of, I get what you're saying, but I still think it's selfish and inconsiderate of you to be moving out. Where am I gonna stay type of vibes. And honestly, at that point, I feel like I was slowly pulling away because I had already had so much going on. I heard what he was saying. I understood what he might have been feeling, but I was also in a very difficult position at that point, dude. I'm about to lose my job, and it doesn't make sense to keep this apartment, to keep paying for it when I'm not sure if I will be getting paid, for how long, those kind of things. Because I like being prepared. I like feeling like my things are running at a steady pace and a pace that I'm prepared for, right? So then served notice, moved out, and yeah, he was mad, and then he started like squatting with his different friends. So he had a couple of friends that lived close to where we lived, and he would live with this one for a couple of weeks, and then this one, and that's how it worked out. So over the weekends when I would come home, then maybe book into a hotel or a guest house, and that's where we would spend the weekend, and obviously leave Monday morning, right? So on one such weekend, when I traveled all the way from PE, I remember I got on a flight from PE or Tambo, and then I had to figure out taxis from Kempton Park to get to that place, and it was a bit of a jiga because I got on like 3 different taxis. Like no one was around, and it was just a mess. And Uber was charging like 20 million, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Got on taxis, and we had arranged. Thing is, we speak every day at this point, and we had already arranged. Everything was in order, so it was basically a point of moving from point A to point B, get into the guest house, and then we're sorted. Did guy not stand me up the whole weekend? Did my guy not stand me up? So from the time when I got off the flight, trying to call him and I can't get hold of him, like I'm at a side of town where I don't know anyone. Had to find my way to a place where I'm at least familiar with. Got on several taxis to get there. Figured that maybe once I get there, maybe I'll see some of his friends, and I'll get to, know where's this guy, what's going on. Maybe his phone is dead or whatever. I don't know. Did guy not stand me up? Like, my guy stood me up the whole entire weekend. I was in a guest house all on my own, and it was not cute, because I easily could have stayed where I was. You have that option of saying no. I opted not to travel over the weekend so they can cover your stay for the weekend. I had that option. But because I'm trying to keep this broken mug all in one piece, but the mug wants to be broken. The mug just literally wants to be scattered all over the floor, right? So, okay, broken-hearted girl, went back to work on Monday. He resurfaced sometime around Wednesday, gave me some soppy story, which I didn't buy, and that was that. Didn't really question it further because I didn't have the energy for this. And, the show just kept on moving. I didn't really hound him for much. I didn't really focus on it. I was hurt, but it's fine. It's okay. And for the rest of that month, I opted not to go anywhere on weekends because I'm mad. I'm mad as hell. I'm still touched. And I'm not about to just throw myself at you. You need to kind of earn it back, That's why, looking back at it, that was actually the year where I started regaining a bit of my strength, where I started regaining a bit of me back, because that's where I was able to look at things objectively to say, but if this guy can stand you up now, what's to stop him from standing you up again next week, right? So hey, girl is here being careful. Then I started basically spending the weekends getting to know the other place that side, and what's missing? Then that was the traveling time of it. So the traveling happened from March, April, May, June, July. Then I remember during the month of August, I was in Polokwane, like literally kiraye. It's home, Then that's when I knew I was there for a month before they moved me again. And I figured that's when I need to do my learner's license, and that's when I need to do my license, so I can basically sort my life out. No, I had intentions of moving back to Gauteng sometime soon. This is because from the next year, which would now be 2018, I wanted to now start my BTech in structural engineering, and that would need me somewhere as close as possible to my preferred campus. So I needed a car, and I needed a job in Gauteng, and I needed a license, and I basically needed to finish my life ASAP, right? So all of that happened within a space of a month. Not the car, the learner's license and driving lessons and getting the license as well. That happened during the month of August, right? And then I had been applying for jobs, and I got called for an interview in Rosebank, which is the company I'm currently working for now. I got called for an interview in Rosebank, went to Rosebank, got an interview, and girl got the job on the spot. And I think I was set to start 2 weeks from that point, if I'm not mistaken, because I attended the interview sometime during the month of August, and I was going to start now on the 1st of September, on the first week of September. Can't really recall the date exactly. And now, this meant I could now move back to Gauteng, move back to that place, and be reunited with my lava, be reunited with, you know, my pillar of strength, right? So that was that. Then served my resignation notice. I served my 2 weeks notice, and then now I had to, you know, hunt for an apartment, you know, get a place to stay, just so I can get settled in and prepare for going to work, right? So the apartment I was gonna move to, it was basically the same apartment block we lived in, but the other side, like where they had like the bigger apartments. Moved there, and you know how rental works, Smooth. They're gonna need like your first month's rental and like deposit, and you know these security deposits and whatnot. So basically, for me to move into that place, or for us to move into that place, they needed something like 15K, somewhere around those lines, cash, right? And obviously I'm communicating this with my guy to say, okay, I just had a meeting with the agent. I already knew the apartments. I had viewed them before because I had intentions of moving there once the salary, you know, moved. Once the salary increased like our petrol, you know, I had intentions of moving. So I knew how they looked. I liked the apartments, right? And then communicated with my guy, and not once did my guy say no, you know, let's maybe, you know, let's help each other, let's contribute and, you know, move into this place, let's now turn a new leaf. Because obviously by this point we had already discussed how during the previous time, or in the previous apartment, I just felt unsupported financially. I felt like he was turning a blind eye when month end comes. He was this type who would disappear on the Friday, resurface on the Sunday. And it was just a story.
A film.
So I feel like the time we got to spend apart, the time where I was traveling, you know, these different provinces where we were literally apart, where I felt like I could voice out my concerns without fearing a slap here, face mola, you know. I felt like I got to, you know, voice out a lot of the concerns I had. So now the money issue was on the table, was on there. And even after our money discussion, not once did this guy, you know, and we're just there, you know, sitting with a huge elephant and its babies in the room. And, you know, so, but the thing is, I didn't have the leverage of time to wait for him to make up his mind on whether he was going to help me pay for this or not, you know. I cleared the 15K, and I had to get my stuff moved in, had to get new furniture, had to basically, had to, you know, zhuzh up my place, make it look cute and make it look welcoming just for me. Just, I personally, I feel great in a space that looks nice, right? Then we move in there, and then I remember the first day, then we went to basically get, you know, your electrical apartments where you're getting a fridge, microwave, you know, kettle and stuff, because I had those stuff. But you know, in between the moving and all of that, a lot of things get lost, a lot of things go missing, a lot of things get broken, and a lot of things are just, you know, mix and match, right? So, you know, okay, getting everything all myself, guys just here watching me swipe everything on my own shop. No problem, that was fine. I mean, I had a background of this, the fact that I'm the one handling stuff on my own. So it wasn't, you know, in a little thing, it wasn't really a train smash. It was just disappointing to say, oh, okay, we're here again. Shop, we move into the apartment, and okay, life goes on. Also, I think so. Now I'm in a new place, and one where he cannot just casually walk in like my previous company. He would do this thing where he casually walks into my workplace with a can, yeah, maybe Fanta orange or Stony, and says, I'm here to see you, I brought you this. But in actual fact, he was there to spy. He was there to, you know, see what I get up to during the day, to just see what is this girl doing. So now I worked a bit farther now, where you need like a taxi or so to get there, and the office visit stopped, right? Then it's moving. And the thing about situations like this, it feels like it's getting better, it's improving, that, you know, things are going right, and then things take a turn for the absolute worst, you know. So I started working at this company, it was around September, and I remember it's the year where I have to basically get a car so I can start traveling between work and school the coming year, right? So obviously baby girl waits for like first salary, second salary, and I'm not able to do my math, see what's what, you know, basically check what I can afford. Hey, afford or qualify. That's also another thing. Because there's a fine line between qualifying and affording, but I basically needed to see where I landed, what I qualify for, and on the stuff I qualify for, what I can afford, what it is that I'll be able to pay for on a month-to-month basis without feeling like it has me by the skin on my throat, right? So now applying, and these things get so addictive. You'll find yourself on Cars24, on you'll find yourself on car websites the whole entire day. Going in. And obviously you have to consider a lot of factors, where you live, how notorious that car is for getting hijacked, the safety aspect of it, how much you'll be paying for insurance on that car, all like the maintenance, how much you'll be spending overall on the car does not depend solely on the price of the car. There's also interest rates, there's also your risk profile, and then all of that combined, they now bring you a fee. Long story short, it got to a point where now I'm approved to get a car. This was now end of November going towards December. I'm now approved to getting a car. Baby girl is so excited. I am happy. My car is a problem solver.
Where's the danger? Where's the danger?
Because now we'll stop being bomatamai, because your car means, a car means point A to B will happen in a split second, right? I am happy because the thing about the industry you work in, it's not very stable unless you're working in a company that has, like bucket loads and bucket loads of money, and the cash flow does not necessarily depend on clients paying and whatnot. But with our company specifically, we haven't had the best of luck with like I'd say steady salary payments. We get interruptions here and there, we get potholes here and there, we hit speed humps here and there. So from the time I started working there to the time where I got approved for the car, those situations already there, which sometimes affected my application and my car search and whatnot. By the time I got approved, I had kind of given up on it, and I was like, okay, it means this BTEC will have to wait, because there's no way I'm gonna get from Rosebank to the Val using taxis and getting to class on time and getting back and all of that, right? Sure. So I finally get approved. It's like the 30th of November. Baby girl is excited. Baby girl is happy. And now only I couldn't wait to get home to update Bay, because I feel like my win is his win. So if my problems are solved, your problems are solved, right? Get home, and he can just tell I'm in a jolly mood. So obviously I couldn't wait. I let him know to say, remember I was looking for a car and I got approved. I'm picking it up tomorrow. I was so happy. Like I was so happy, because it's a car. My guy got mad at me. My guy got mad at me that I got a car. And it was the most underwhelming feeling ever, because what do you
even mean?
My guy got mad at me. Like I can't make this stuff up. He got so upset, talking about how it's disrespectful for me to get a car on my own, how disrespectful it is. What are people gonna say? Now people are gonna laugh at me, saying I can't do things for my woman. Oh my god. He was basically throwing all his toys around, and the whole entire time I'm just so baffled. When did it become about people? Which people? What? How? Like, disrespectful? Me for getting a car? Dude, I'm still hotspotting you to practice how to trade Forex. I'm still pumping my own money into your Forex account so you can keep blowing it and running it to the max. At what point are you going to buy me a car? Did you not hear the dreams I have? Did you not hear the problems I'm trying to solve by getting this car? No. Baby boy was so mad. Baby boy was fuming. Baby boy stood on his point about how I am so disrespectful. Now he feels so disrespected and unwanted. Oh my gosh, he has never seen such a disrespectful woman before.
Patung, Lina. Yeah.
And I was shocked. But you believe it or not, I apologized. Believe it or not, I apologized for disrespecting him by getting a car. I apologized. Got a story, baby. Baby girl, I'm sorry. I apologized. I apologized because at this point I'm so used to apologizing even when I didn't do anything for to keep the peace. Anything to keep the peace. I apologized. I was like, peace, my boy. I apologized. Then now there was just an elephant and a rhino and a hippo in the room. Now you're mad at me for getting a car. But yeah, so it's true when they say some people pretend like they feel your pain, but they're actually happy you're going through it. It's true when they say, some people, they are hoping that you don't get certain things because your lack of those certain things keeps you right where you are at a comfortable level for them. It keeps you where it's comfortable for them. It keeps you at a comfort level for them. They're still able to stomach you. They're still able to digest you. They're still able to get access to you because you are at a level that's accessible to them. But yeah. Thank you for tuning into this story time. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Thrive Out Loud. Obviously, now we're getting a bit more comfortable, a bit more cozy. We're getting used to this, and I am loving your love. If you have a topic you'd like to hear me discuss or talk about, please feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions, any video ideas, anything you'd like to hear about, anything you want you and I to sit down and talk about, baby, I am here for it. Please leave it down in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. As always, it's always a pleasure sitting down here having this chat with you. Thank you again for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to get those notifications. Comment, like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Bring a friend, grab some popcorn. Let's do this again next week. Bye.